Hey Aquarius, welcome to your weekly forecast for October 18th through the 24th. This is going to be for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Now, if you happen to stumble upon this video outside of the dates I mentioned, don't you worry, you fell upon it when you were meant to, when it was time to hear the messages. These are general readings. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Let's go ahead and connect here, my darlings, and see what is coming up for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead. One more shuffle. All right, my dears, let's get right on into it. So, the first card coming up here is the King of Swords. It's you in your lovely, wonderful air sign energy. Now, this is masculine air sign energy, so you may be stepping into the masculine characteristics of your sign. Typically, masculine energy is seen as action, okay? Action, strategy, approaching things in that organized kind of way. Feminine energy is seen as more creativity, emotion, and so more like artistic, and then masculine is more strategy, planning. We all have masculine and feminine energy. Now, this can be dealing also with another air sign. It could be a Gemini or a Libra or another Aquarius coming into the mix. If we put people aside, the characteristics of the King of Swords is going to be, you might be seeking out somebody very knowledgeable for guidance. You might be kind of feeling stuck in a situation and you may be deciding to consult a professional, someone who's able to direct you. Maybe you are preparing to go and see what you might have to do legally in a situation for zoning or permits or copyright or, you know, protecting work or contracts. You may be looking into what the laws are and how they might be affecting you and what you're trying to do moving forward. I do feel that some of you are having some issue with housing, with like a housing situation, and something about it might not be sitting right with you. You're like, something's not adding up here, or I don't know if they're allowed to do this. Like, they're coming in and they're acting this kind of way with me, and they're telling me this and they're telling me that, but just something seems like it's not right. Something seems off here. If you're in a situation where you feel like your landlord or your neighbors or somebody is coming in and trying to push something on you or demanding something of you for the space that you're occupying, and just something doesn't seem right, or you've gone to them and you've asked them to make repairs and they're not making the repairs, this is a good time for you to get educated about what your rights are. Now, not everybody can afford a lawyer or an attorney, but the good news is lots of places do have resources for legal aid, for people who are renting, or for people who have issues with property or some kind of dispute. But for some reason, Aquarius, I feel like some of you are having issues with where you're living, and like certain rules that are being imposed on you, or certain expenses that they're telling you it's your responsibility. You're like, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't sound right. Listen to that. Listen to what your gut is telling you, and go and find out what you can do to stand up for yourself, right? Because you are protected. You do have rights. So the King of Swords can be getting educated about what that is, getting some guidance, and then being able to get it worked out. The great thing about the King of Swords is he's the master of negotiation. He's really good at finding the win-win in a situation. Now, maybe you don't have a housing issue or a housing situation, but you might find yourself feeling like you're at a little bit of a crossroads and you're wanting to go one way, but you're not sure how to get the support or to have somebody hear you out. Maybe you have an idea for how you're wanting to do something at work. You're like, I think that it would be better if we changed it and did it this way or that way, or I would really like more responsibilities, or I want a promotion, or I want a raise, and you're not sure how to approach the situation. Or maybe you have an issue with a roommate or family or your significant other, whatever it might be. King of Swords says that the best way to approach the situation is with logic. Don't get emotional about it. Don't go into it like it's not fair or it's not right or after everything I've done for you. Don't go into it with that energy. Come into it with logic. They can't deny logic. Okay, they can't deny logic and say, oh no, it's not like that. Or oh, you're being too sensitive. Or oh, you're being selfish. Or oh, you're being greedy. If you can come in with facts, they can't dispute facts. They can't turn it around on you and say you're too sensitive or you're too this or too that. So this is how it's going to benefit you, right? Like if we make this change in the way we're doing this particular situation, this is how it's going to benefit the company, right? Or if I'm able to get training in this other department or help out, I'm getting more experience, I'm expanding my skill set, and then, you know, I'm being more efficient and you're getting more work done, or whatever it might be, right? You have to look at this as like, how can you approach this person and show them what they're getting out of it, how it's going to benefit them, what the facts are, you know, just come in with logic and find that win-win situation. Find the common ground and focus on the common ground versus focusing on the grievance or on what's gone wrong. Find the common ground and build from that common ground. And then everybody's happy. Okay? The next card coming up here for Aquarius is the Empress. This could be Taurus or Libra energy. It's the feminine energy. Okay, some of you might be dealing with a feminine Taurus or Libra, or somebody who has Taurus or Libra placement. If you have Taurus or Libra placement, there could be big changes happening in that area of your life. The Empress is a major arcana card, and it's going to come up anytime that we're coming into a really, or major arcana cards in general are going to come up in any time that we're coming into a new chapter in our life. It's a significant change. It's a significant shift. So these are energies that are going to be around for a while. Even though I'm reading for the 18th to the 24th, setting the intention for that time period, the Empress is going to be around for a while. It's not just going to be a 7-day period of time. The Empress has a lot to do with creativity, fertility. For some of you, this could be in a literal sense. You might be getting very logical here on how to make this happen and how to move forward, stepping into, you know, motherhood or having children or finding somebody to mother your children. It could be very literal in that sense. It could also be fertility in terms of things that you're putting out creatively, like things that you're wanting to put out into the world or things that you're wanting to accomplish. The Empress is one of my entrepreneur self-employment cards when she comes up in readings. And also it can come up when you're just really in that divine feminine energy, really embracing the divine feminine. There's a high level of respect with the Empress. People respect the Empress out of genuine care, out of genuine concern. They shudder to think of like falling out of her good graces. So Aquarius, a lot of you might be finding that you're beginning to gather up respect from other people. Like people are genuinely respecting you. It's not about coming in and throwing your weight around or, you know, telling people off or being a good fighter. They genuinely respect you for the beautiful energy and what you're bringing into the situation. The Empress can also indicate guidance coming in from a deceased maternal figure. So a mother or a grandmother who's passed away, or your ancestors from your maternal side, they may be coming in and guiding you and bringing you messages at this time. Okay? Now your next card coming in, Aquarius, is the Four of Wands. Now, Four of Wands oftentimes is seen as marriage, right? A lot of people watch tarot readings because they're watching for love and romance. So Four of Wands has gotten typecast as a wedding. And that can be for some of you. You may be planning and preparing for a wedding. That could be the focal, like your main focus right now. Or you may be manifesting that. Or you may have wanted that for a long time and felt very blocked in that area. And as we're coming into the full moon in Aries, you may be releasing the things that have blocked this energy from coming in for you. However, we're looking at this outside of love and romance. So the other ways that we see Four of Wands is going to be stability, long-term abundance, a happy home, a sense of like friends who are like family, people that we can celebrate with, people that we can have a good time with, a sense of community, a sense of home, a sense of gathering, a sense of happiness. Now, the Four of Wands also can sometimes, for me in my readings, have a sense of a homecoming. So some of you might be thinking about ways in which you're wanting to improve your home or where you came from, or some of you maybe are wanting to return home, go back home, and get reestablished there, or kind of settle back into where you grew up. Or maybe you're wanting to plan a trip or spend some time with a mother or maternal figure or your mother's side of the family. Some of you might be coming into where you're wanting to really learn as much as you can from the matriarch in your family, right? You might be seeing that life is short, things are coming to a close, things are coming to an end. Maybe some of you are stepping into matriarch territory, or stepping into becoming the matriarch of your family with this Empress here next to the Four of Wands. There could be shifting like that happening. The passing of the torch in that way could be happening for some of you as well. Okay, but Four of Wands could be that you're having a chance to kind of get around people from your childhood or from your past, and they're seeing what's become of you. Like you're kind of proud to show off how far you've come, or the things that you've overcome. Some of you, I feel, it's a very, very interesting situation, but I feel some of you have overcome a lot of challenges from a very bad breakup or a very messy divorce or situation that was gossip for a very long time. Like I'm hearing scarlet letter. Like some of you feel like you've been walking around with that scarlet letter. But I feel like something is happening for you from the people from your past, family or old community, that like you're realizing now how happy people are for you, or they're happy that you did that, or you came out of that situation, because I feel like some truth has been revealed. Some truth has been revealed. And people are kind of waking up and they're like being less judgmental. And so I feel for some of you, you're feeling like your name has been cleared, or like you can go back home now. Okay, that's not going to be for every single one of you, but that's like a really interesting energy that I'm picking up on here for some of you Aquarius. The next card that's coming up here for you guys is the Chariot, and the Chariot can have to do with Cancer. Okay, so some of you could be dealing with a Cancer. If you have a Cancer placement, again, could be big changes happening for you in your life. Now, we do have more than one major arcana card coming up here, and the major arcana cards are split up. So this does give me an up and down kind of feeling, or a fast and slow kind of feeling. So you might have things happening very quickly and then slowing down a little bit and then speeding up and then slowing down a little bit. There could be big changes happening for you, but they're not happening as back to back. Or it could be very busy and then very quiet, or very hectic and then very calm. With the Chariot card, there is a sense of travel. So some of you might quite literally be traveling back home or getting ready to go back home. Okay, some of you might feel like, you know what, something in my gut is telling me that if I don't do it now, I'm not going to get to do it later. Right? So some of you are making a decision to do whatever you need to do to make this travel, or to get back home, or to get something to like a certain place, or a relocation that you might be working on. Because in the old days, the Chariot was also having the connection to what was referred to as sanctuary cities. Today, sanctuary city has a different meaning. We think of it in terms of like immigration, to where that county or that government is not going to report people who may have come in without paperwork. That's not what sanctuary city meant back in the day. Back in the day, sanctuary city was somewhere where you could go where nobody, like it was like a safe zone. Like when you were a kid and you played tag, right? There was some place where you went, oh, I'm touching this wall, so you can't tag me. It was kind of like that back in the day. So maybe you made a mistake, or you got in over your head with debts, or you accidentally committed a crime. There were certain cities that if you went there, they couldn't go into the city and pull you out and take you back and give you that Wild West judgment, or take you to court, or get even with you. They had to leave you alone. And after a certain amount of time passed, as long as you behaved while you were in that city, you could stay there, you could go somewhere else, you could go back home, and nobody could touch you. And so the Chariot card also has a sense or a feeling of getting to safety. So some of you intuitively might be feeling guided that it's going to be better for me to go live in this specific area, or it's going to be better for me to take these certain steps to secure my assets, or to prepare for a rainy day. Gathering certain necessities. Okay? And so you're moving in that direction. You're making that happen. You're securing yourself. Another way that the Chariot card comes up, Chariot card always makes me think of the quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, when he said, once we make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. So sometimes the Chariot comes up when we're in a situation where we're like, okay, angels, okay, guides, I'm ready. Open the door you want me to walk through. Open the door, show me the door, and open it and I'll walk through it. And your angels and guides are like, look, we're here to open doors for you, but in this particular situation, you're in a time where you're learning free will, practicing your free will. So we can't override your free will. If you tell us which door you want us to open, we can go ahead and help you make that happen, but we can't choose the door for you. In this particular instance, in this particular situation, we cannot override your free will. Sometimes it happens, right? Depending on what is happening, depending on the lesson, there are certain situations in which our free will is overridden or overrided. But this particular situation is not one of those situations. You have to choose. You have to decide. And once you make the decision, the doors begin to open. Okay? You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks, those are going to resonate with you more than others. They might add a certain extra information or a certain extra layer for you that can be helpful. I have noticed lately a lot of people are stuck. So I've added a service I wasn't doing for a long time, just because I didn't know if I had the time and the energy to really, really connect and like go deep and really focus on that kind of stuff. But I am doing custom affirmations again. So it's a reading where I'm going to do a reading, and then I'm going to focus on where you might be stuck and how you might be able to get over those blocks. And then at the end, depending on what comes up in your reading, I'll put together a little affirmation for you to do and to practice and to implement in your spiritual practice. I used to charge a lot more for it, but I know that right now times are tough, so I'm doing it for less than half what I used to. And even then, if that's still steep, there are other readings I offer, other things I offer. So I try to, work with everybody's budget. But if you can't afford a private reading, watching your moon sign, rising sign, Venus sign can all be very helpful, because even though they're general readings, you're still pulling from your specific placements, and that can be helpful as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I'm wishing you all a wonderful week ahead. Love videos are linked in the description. November love readings will be up soon, my dears. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.